You've won your client's business and you're so excited to get started that you start racing down the highway in a direction that the client doesn't really want you to go. Has that ever happened to you? Today we're going to talk about the importance of project kickoffs. Let's get into it.
Equipping creative businesses to unleash their best work.
Welcome back to the Chief Creative Podcast. I'm your host, Dustin Pead, founder, owner of Chief Creative Partners, and we're here to help creative businesses unleash their best work. As you know, we've been going through this podcast series called Creative Work because I'm writing my next book called Creative Work, the 10 systems that every creative business needs. And we're doing it kind of in real time here on the podcast. We're talking through each one of these chapters. It's going to help me write it, help me kind of get all my thoughts written down for each of these 10 systems and topics. And the book is going to be broken up into 3 different sections. There's going to be the personal survival, right? That's the first problem that we need to solve, that you started a creative business and you're just trying to survive. And the second problem is going to be all about client experience, right? So you have clients, but the delivery seems to be chaotic. And in the third section, we're going to talk about your team and how to scale, because you can't grow without these systems and processes in place. And so today we find ourselves kind of smack dab in the middle of the client experience. And we're talking about this very important topic of project kickoffs. And the reason kicking off a project the right way and systematically and having a solid process for that is so important is because creative businesses, they get so excited that they've landed the client that they jump into the work immediately, and they haven't thought fully through the scope of the project, the timeline of the project, the client's expectations, what is done going to look like, and then what are the actual deliverables? What is it going to take to pull off this thing in the way that they want it and the time and budget and constraints that they have given you? So a project kickoff meeting is simply a 45-minute meeting. Could be in person, could be digital, doesn't matter. But we're going to spend 45 minutes doing nothing but asking questions around the project vision, right? Paint done, what does that look like? Around the timeline throughout the entire start to the end of the project. Are there dates that are super important that you need to know about so that you can make sure you hit those dates? Are there shoots or additional production days involved in this that we need to go ahead and get on the calendar now? We're going to communicate and reiterate expectations around what revisions look like, and we're going to talk about what our communication standards are. And I want to be sure to say this here, that the project kickoff meeting is not a time to ideate, right? So they should have, or you should have, kind of your idea time differently from this. If there needs to be idea time after this, then talk about that. Budget for that in the scope of the project. Hey, we need to sit down and really ideate out some of these things. But this project kickoff call, the goal here at the end is that we have a full project brief, if possible, to be able to hand to the client to confirm their desires, and to hand to our team so that they can execute the vision with accuracy and excellence every single time. So obviously, who should be on that call or who should be in this meeting is whoever's leading the project on each side of the agreement. So for you and your creative business, who's going to take charge here? Do you have a client rep? Do you have a project manager? Do you have a lead designer? Is it you? Whoever it is that's going to be leading that project, seeing it through from start to finish, they need to be on that call or in that meeting. And on the other side, it's super helpful if you can have whoever is going to have final input on the client side. So if they say, yeah, I'm gonna be your point person for this, but we have to get it approved in these different checkpoints, or the final has to be approved by my boss or someone else in the organization. Super helpful to have them in that, because you want to be able to capture from them what they're thinking and what they're envisioning this project to look like. That'll keep scope creep from happening, and it'll keep happy clients, because you're delivering closer to what they had envisioned from the jump, rather than just hoping that what you did was good enough. So I like to have these project kickoffs in one of two spots, either Once the agreement is signed, like, hey, we have agreed that this is kind of the generic scope of the project. This is the hours, or maybe it's a product that you offer. Hey, this is the brand story video, or this is the wedding photography shoot, or whatever it is. Now we're going to get into the project kickoff. Or if you need to, have it before the agreement is signed so that you can better understand the scope of it if you need to bill properly and invoice properly, of like estimate properly of how much this project is actually going to cost, not only you and your team, but the client as well. Having those things up front sometimes really helps prevent scope creep and surprises when they get the invoice. Where you do these meetings doesn't really matter, but it can be digital or in person. But as you're going to see as we dive into the how here, it's super important that wherever you do it, you at least have the option to record the audio, because this is going to help you make sure you get everything down the way it was said and not the way that you remember it. All right, so let's talk about how these meetings are going to go. It's super helpful if you have a set of standard questions that you ask for any type of project category that you offer. Like I said, it may be wedding photography. It may be this type of video. It may be a podcast production. It may be this type of layout design. It may be a website build. Whatever it is, if you have standard questions that you know that you're going to need to know, go ahead and make sure you're asking those questions every single time. That way, when you produce the project briefing at the end of it, it's more likely going to have all the information in it that you need because you remembered to ask all the questions. Don't rely on your memory when you get into these 45-minute project kickoff sessions. So some of those things might look like some essentials, right? Hey, we need to go ahead and collect your brand guidelines and your logos. We're going to go ahead and ask for that. We need to get access to your website or your social or to whatever platform that we're going to post this thing on for you. You'll talk through logistics like, hey, we need to schedule a walkthrough of the location before we show up on the day of production. You're going to ask questions around like what the purpose of the project is and what should the end viewer or the end consumer of that product, what should they do next when they see it or feel it or whatever, interact with it in any way, right? That's going to give you the ultimate end goal action. You'll ask questions like, can you reference anything that you've seen before or that you've been a part of before that you would like this project to ultimately end up looking or feeling like? You can ask questions of, do they have anything that's already existing that they want to incorporate into this design or this project or this video or this website or this event, whatever it is that you're doing for them. You want to make sure and confirm on that call too, who are the key contacts for this project? Who needs to be getting approval when we send drafts of things? Who needs to be in on that email, and what's their name, their title, and their email address, so we can have all of that written down. A question that many creatives forget to ask is, what non-negotiables do you have? Like, what are any must include elements, right? Like if it's a wedding photography, like, oh, we have to make sure that this person or this item or this look or this dress or this location is involved. What are the non-negotiables now so that you can plan for it when it comes time to execute on the project? So some of these questions may have already been discussed before, but you're going to go ahead and let them know that even though these questions may have already been asked, we're going to ask again to confirm them so that number one, we're going to confirm them, and number two, so that we can notate that on the official brief that we'll provide to you after this call or this meeting is over. So let's talk about recording the meeting. Why do we want to record this meeting? Well, we want to record this meeting so that we can get, like I said, what is actually said and not your memory of what was said. Have you ever been to the doctor's office and the doctor asks you about how you're feeling or what the symptoms are, and the entire time he's not looking at you in the eye, he's typing all the notes of what you're saying into his computer, rather than being engaged in the conversation. And so it prevents him from being able to maybe sometimes ask appropriate follow-up questions, right? Because he's so engaged in getting down exactly what you're saying. If you record it, you don't have to worry about that distraction at all. If you're meeting in person, you can use a simple tool like this, which is a Claude note taker. If you're meeting online, there's all sorts of AI note takers out there that will take the transcript. You don't need to take its summary, take the exact transcript from that meeting. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to drop that transcript and any other context, notes, or feelings that you picked up during the conversation. We're going to drop all of that information into a prepared project in Claude to help us draft that briefing. It's going to pump out the briefing. We've prepared the project to go, this is the template of the type of briefings, this is the sections, this is the essential questions that we asked. All of that stuff is already pre-prepared in your project, in your Claude project, and you're going to use that every single time. And when you're done and you have it the way, looking and feeling exactly the same way for every client, every time, because when your team gets it, they need to know how to look and view the document. They don't want to be looking all over trying to figure out where that information is or where this information is. All of your briefings should look exactly the same. They should flow the same. Then you're going to send it to the client as well for transparency and accuracy so that they understand what it is that you're going to work on. This is what we agreed on. And then lastly, from there, you're going to add that briefing to your client project drive folder. So you maybe use Dropbox or you use Google Drive or whatever it is that you use. You're going to have that client folder, and inside the client folder, you're going to have the project for that client. And inside of that project folder is where this document is going to live. And then from there, what we do is we'll take the link and we'll attach it into the project of whatever project management software you use, whether it's Monday.com or Asana or whatever, Basecamp, it doesn't matter, whatever it is. We're going to attach it there so that when our team starts to work on it, they don't have to go looking through the drive for it. They can click on the project and see exactly right there, and everything pulls up. But it's all about saving time. It's all about being efficient, and it's all about having the information that you and your team need to execute with excellence on this project at your fingertips. So maybe you don't do these, or maybe you need to start refining the way that you do them. But I would just say a couple of calls to action here as we close. Start each project by asking the right questions. Really take time. Ask your team, hey, team, when we brief you on these things, are there consistently the same questions that you have that are not available to you in the project brief? Or maybe it's even future you. Maybe you're a team of one, right? And so you need to make sure that your future self understands what is actually being asked of you during this project, and you want to make sure that all the information is there. And so if you go to that and you're consistently like, man, I wish I would have asked this question, go back to your question template, put that question on there so that next time all that stuff is documented. So start each project by asking the right questions. That's the big idea of a project kickoff. And then keep those project briefings in one central place where you and the team know exactly where to find that vital information that you need to execute on that project well. So that's project kickoffs, project briefings, super, super important. It's a system that I believe every creative business needs to have so that they can execute with excellence every single time. Unleash their best work. Hey, if you'd like help with implementing project briefings in your creative business, reach out to us at chiefcreativepartners.com and let's build something for you and your business that actually works. I can't wait to continue this conversation with you as we continue our journey writing the book Creative Work, 10 Systems That Every Creative Business Needs. We'll do that next time on the Chief Creative Podcast. Have a great week.